Hello my friends, this is Alex, and I welcome you to Socialism Survival Podcast number 5. Before I'll get to the subject, I'd like to thank everyone who had been listening to all my 4 previous podcasts. With this one, I give you 5. I stretch my hand to you as a friend. And if you are new to this podcast, it's not too late to catch up and take 5. Thank you all for your support and encouragement. My deepest respect and a very special thanks to my wife and kids. They are God's gift for me. Thank you, honey. I know you listen to me every day, plus this podcast on your iPod, and you still find time and strength to cook, bake, clean, and much more while I'm recording and blogging. I'd like to dedicate to you my Bible verse of the week. It is Proverbs 31, verse 10. I am reading from New English Translation. Who can find a wife of noble character? For her value is far more than rubies. Your value, sweetheart, is even more than Goldman Sachs could ever make. At least my love to you doesn't need any government bailout. And now, ladies and gentlemen, healthcare part number 2. You will get a better picture if you listened to first part, which is in podcast number 2. I already shared with you the story of my mom and my baby sister who both died at the hands of socialistic healthcare. But it is hard to comprehend how many people died in the absence of any care. What kind of care do you think had those who died on their way being transported to Gulag, or those who laid in piles on Ukrainian streets during artificial famine of 1930s, when nobody even cared to properly bury them? There are some things that government may control, like quality of products and services, but not healthcare. Regarding healthcare, I am against government intervention at all, because what government creates is a bloated, corrupted bureaucracy, which in turn creates another giant network of corruption. Some of such existing entities look for me a lot like a long-term pre-planned socialistic encroachment and takeover of America. Even if it was not created by socialists, they may well be in control by now. Take FDA, for example. For socialists pushing now government-controlled healthcare, it would be very unwise doing that without first having such things as FDA in their pocket. That's why they are in a hurry now, having such unique situation when both presidency and Congress majority are on their side. And of course, guaranteed oversight over FDA. To get convinced, look what they are doing now with the swine flu vaccine. No matter how much they are corrupted, normally it requires a certain amount of tests for a drug or vaccine to get their approval, but not so in this case. Isn't it suspicious that FDA is so silent? And what is real agenda behind such a hurry? They may say whatever they want, but we, the people, have a right to doubt and question anyone's agenda unless somebody thinks that those in government are gods and worships them. Well, the deep subject gets even deeper, because that's what we see is happening. Let me put it this way. When the cult of personality is presented as inevitable condition for a better future, then deep inside me, I know that what we are facing is a deep, well-planned strategy of the Americas and eventually world take over by socialism. What we are allowed to see through the puppet media and the current government actions is, in my opinion, only a small part of their plans, just the top of the iceberg. Right now, healthcare is the most visible part of that iceberg. Everything goes as planned. The worst things are left for later because I mean socialists in government, are careful in trying not to scare the opposition into active resistance. Although they are prepared to withstand moderate resistance to some degree using fear, smear, and ignore tactics of their great teacher Saul Alinsky. They desperately need to have that socialistic healthcare imposed upon American people to use it as a virtual gulag when people's lives will be controlled either by denying medical care or by administering both physically and mentally harmful drugs and vaccines. Look, they are good, compassionate socialists, unlike bad socialist Joseph Stalin, who made people die in Siberian snow on their way to death camps. These good socialists will let you die in the comfort of your home or medical institution. If that can be done, then the rest of their iceberg like agenda will be much easier to impose. The huge liberal socialistic media monster is involved now in manipulating public attention to healthcare debate. President himself has multiple media appearances every week to address the issue and to present his mysterious plan. I call it mysterious because it's nowhere to be found. Even in Soviet Union, any project of legal changes and amendments were published in major newspapers. Nevertheless, why they want you to be focused on healthcare? First and the most, they want to divert your attention away from the rest of their political iceberg. Second, as the battle intensifies, it gives them better media shots of their side of the argument, which they then present as widespread public interest in their healthcare plan. Third, they need public debates polarized to identify and suppress the hot spots of resistance now before they reveal and force upon American people other, more dangerous parts of their plan to change this country. Should we decrease then the resistance? No, on the opposite. It should be increased to the point when, first, they are forced to focus and spend all of their resources on fighting ongoing opposition. Second, their media is so confused that it, like mad dog, bites its own master, forcing him to show his true face. Opposition should be increased and resistance should be increased to the point when every congressman and congresswoman fearfully respects people's will. But while increasing fight over healthcare, conservative camp must organize, join intelligence and various resources in order to identify and address the hidden socialistic agenda of the left. Other known power projects of socialism, such as cap and trade, Supreme Court takeover, food production control, confiscation of assets and guns, and creation of civil armed forces, must also have our ongoing attention. While many Americans still hope for a good change about to come from the magic wand of their great leader, let me remind you, in addition to what I already told you, what was in Soviet healthcare and may happen here as well, plus even more. Number one, different treatment quality for communists and non communists. Depending on what party you are associated with, you will get either separate room in the hospital or they will put you in the room with many other sick people. Also, you will get different medications, equipment, and even attitude of medical personnel. As far as I remember, in Soviet Union, when I was in hospitals, not always they were very nice to me. Number two, doctors' offices will be required to put all communists, socialists, Marxists, Leninists, and other leftists in front of the waiting list or line. Number three, mandatory vaccination of children at all times and adults in emergency situations. Parents will have no right to stop or delay administering vaccines to their child unless doctor issues health reasons note and it will get medical council approval. In Soviet Union, mandatory immunizations were performed in schools. It happened like this. While unsuspecting students sat in a classroom studying, immunization personnel would come and get ready in a school's nurse office. After school ring announced the end of a study, teacher who knew what was coming would line us up in a classroom by two, ordering us to hold hands with the student standing next. Well, maybe because that way would be harder to run away. Somebody will be holding you. As we marched out of class, right there behind classroom doors, we were met by the Communist Party Youth Organization activists, who then helped our teacher to escort us to the nurse's office, making sure no one escapes. At least one time I was able to avoid, but it wasn't easy. Number four, bribes. Bribery was widely used in Soviet Union to get better treatment. Most of the time it was presented as thank you gift with nice big bouquet of flowers. Money were either put in the box with chocolate candies or given secretly directly to the doctor or through doctor's confidant. Bribery was officially prosecuted in the USSR. Therefore, sometimes to give a bribe in order to get better treatment, you would need to know one of doctor's friends or to be doctor's friend yourself. If socialistic healthcare will be imposed or forced upon American people, your checkbook will be worthless. You'll need to have a lot of hard cash saved, or such things as gold, silver, coin, or the item like earrings for doctor's wife. Number five, underground treatment was also widespread in USSR. Dental work, abortions, massage, chiropractic treatments, and much more. It was also illegal, but if socialistic regime didn't offer any better solutions, people would find their way to provide and use it. Unfortunately, by failing to provide necessary care, socialism became a fertile ground for many charlatans who did a lot of damage to people's health, causing even death. Number six, the search for alternative healing. Positive side of it was that many people came to God as the answer to their health problems and were actually healed. Yes, it is true. The more people of faith were persecuted by Soviet regime, the stronger grew their faith in God and many miracles happened. And it drew attention of the masses brainwashed by atheism. Even our unbelieving neighbors would sometimes ask our parents to pray for them. Of course, there was a negative side when, in their search for alternative healing methods, People would get trapped in sorcery, witchcraft, and many dangerous cults. Besides spiritual alternative, people used various homemade remedies based on herbs, minerals, bee products. My grandpa had his apiary and was known for making various healing ointments with bee products that include honey, propolis, and more. As a young man living in Soviet Union, I self-educated myself, studying many books on using herbs for healing and boosting immunity. I believe that in order to survive socialism with its healthcare, it is important for everyone to study the nature that surrounds them in order to know what can benefit their health every day and in emergencies. Many survived Soviet Gulag camps thanks to that kind of knowledge. I will revisit both Gulag and natural remedies subjects in separate podcasts, so stay tuned. Number 7. Mental institutions, better known for ex-Soviets as psychiatric hospitals and clinics, are worth to take whole podcast. And I will also have one for that, based on my personal experience. American socialists are dreaming day and night of the time when they will be able to drive their crazy healthcare horse buggy full of true conservative freedom fighters straight into one of many mental hospitals with this catchy name, Hope for Change. They hope change you, of course. Whether you are a conservative talk show host or blogger or anti-global warming scientist or right-wing senator or preacher who says God created this world in 7 days, you are all on their lists of candidates for a free hospital bed with 5 holding straps as permanent option. Why 5? Well, 2 for legs, 2 for hands, and 1 for your head. You think this is a joke? No, my joke of the week is, well, also here. Soviet agitator tells patients of mental hospital how wonderful are those who rule the country. Everyone claps except one. Why are you not clapping? Asks agitator. I'm the nurse. That's right. In Russian, we say that the joke is only partially joke. The rest is the truth. The socialistic mental institutions have an experimental re-education role. In addition to agitators, you'll get most advanced experimental drugs tested on you as you are playing a guinea pig role when you are there. Wait until I share with you my personal experience in one of future podcasts. You'll get even better picture on how socialism cares for your mental health. You are listening now probably and asking me, Alex, is there any hope or solution in this message? Is there any hope that you can say there is for America? Yes, there is. You are the carrier of such hope, and you are responsible for spreading it like good, healthy bacteria. If you sit and do nothing, then you are actually voting for just described hope for a change institution. If you accepted God in your life, but living like there is no God, you are voting for their alternative where is no place for God. I asked you in part number 1 on healthcare to look at your hands. Think what you did with your hands on November 4th, 2008. Who and what you voted for. I hope you didn't vote for a Hope for a Change institution. But if you did, then it is you whom future generations will hold responsible for turning paradise into desolation, this great country into psychiatric camp of socialism. Still, I hope will not happen. I hope for a different change, the one that will bring people back to their creator and his will for the United States of America will be accomplished. Also, before I finish this podcast, I want to ask you, please, do not live your life like you are preparing yourself to become universal healthcare patient. Stay healthy by eating healthy, exercise, love God and your neighbor, and you will have more chances for survival than others if socialistic healthcare will come, or even if it will not come. And with this, I conclude podcast number 5. As always, your Socialism Survival host, Alex. Don't forget to leave your feedback in my forum at socialismsurvival.com. God bless you. God bless America. And I bless you with these words. Be healthy.